Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Let's Play series. We are at episode 9, and today, hopefully, we finish off the villager conversion system. And yeah, it's proving to be a long project, but it's going to be worth the payoff. Anyway, I just found this funny. There we go. I don't know why it took fall damage at times. Anyway, before we begin on the villager sorting system, let's check out our good old friend, but the potato farm guy. I did a change here since last time. Uh, last time I checked on him, I saw that. Oh, well, there he goes. Yeah, see, I thought that by putting an iron trapdoor here, that this this problem we have here would be resolved. But I still don't know how he's doing this. I haven't caught him doing this, but he's able to do it. So, and I do think it has something to do with the redstone here. Yeah, I might have to set up a delay or something because what we want is for the redstone to be working this oh, working that way. But sometimes, as you saw earlier, what it would do is as soon as you step on it, it would retract. And I think that's how the villager here is able to plant his crops and for it to stay after because it's not breaking after he leaves, and instead the system tries to break it before he leaves or as soon as he arrives. So um but let's actually take a quick peek at the redstone again, and we'll try to sort it out. Get rid of our rails. It's redstone time. So, folks, I've been trying to brainstorm a few ideas and also trying to figure out what the problem is, and I think I know what it is. Seems like this observer system here isn't consistent with the way it retracts this soil block over here. So, for instance, the trapdoor position is currently on a close, and if we open it, it's going to retract the piston down, which is the behavior that we don't want to happen as soon as the system gets triggered. But if we do pulse this trapdoor a few times, it will achieve the position we want it to, where once the trapdoor is opened, it does not retract the piston down. But when it closes, it retracts the piston. So I think it has something to do with if the villager keeps going to trigger the tripwire hook here, like very quickly in a consecutive manner, which is probably what's going on, then it messes up the orientation and how the piston is retracted and all that fun stuff. So I think that's the next thing I have to figure out is what kind of a system do we need to build to make it a bit more consistent. And so yes, this unfortunately this rapid firing piston thing is isn't gonna cut it. Uh-huh. Yep. So this guy wants to escape. Good tell. But anyway, guys, when I figure out something, I'll get back to you. Okay, folks, I think I have it figured out. I was trying to see if I can do an alternate connection here, but it doesn't. I don't think it's gonna work out. But anyway, whatever I've got here that's configured is it seems to be consistent now. So let me explain to you what I did. So I removed the observer system here that was making things inconsistent, and I opted to just put a regular redstone dust here, which I don't like because it's an eyesore, but what can we do? So we put a torch here that's connected to this block, so that way when the farmer goes to the tripwire hook here and triggers it, this dust will activate, turning this off, which turns off this connection. And because of weird piston quasi connectivity, I believe that so even if this connection is off, this piston does not retract. So it stays lit up like this, but only when the farmer leaves that position and this redstone gets turned off like the way it is now, and this torch is turned back on, it doesn't update to this repeater, which updates the piston to retract back and forth. So this only works because of weird piston quasi connectivity update whatever magic. So, and I've tried it many times, so I'll demonstrate it to you now. It's always consistent. No matter how much I spam the system, it's always consistent. So it will only work if the farmer, as you can see here, is fully off of the tripwire hook. But even if I spam it like this, it still will always revert back to the way we want it to. There it goes. Watch. As soon as he leaves, so right now it's unpowered, right? But look, it's still extended. But once he leaves, it's going to retract. Alright guys, I patched the place up, and I also changed the redstone configuration so that instead of it sticking out in the 4x4 area here, it's just like a 3x1 area here. And it seems to be working. I figured out what was causing the problem here, and it's this potato. So every time he steps away, somehow I think the potato, when it breaks, gets lodged up and somehow triggers the tripwire hook here. So that causes it to invert twice, or do the same action twice. So that's what kind of flips the system back and forth. So at least now I saw that when the farmer walked away and broke this crop, and the potato flung upwards, it didn't cause any problems. Watch. Let's see if he can demonstrate it for us here. There, as you can see, the potato flung upwards, triggered the tripwire a second time. But because the system is now more consistent, it did revert the system to like a different configuration, to where the block is retracted now and all that crazy stuff like it was doing earlier. Alright folks, it's been a hot minute since, and I wanted to show you what progress we have so far. So I had the idea of making this little waterway here, and the idea is to have them funnel to our destination point, which is over there by that villager. But the main purpose for it really, and since it's the reason why it's quite long and windy, is to act as kind of like a villager storage system. So while they await for their fate over here, they'll just hang around in this place, just floating around in their minecarts until they're ready to be sorted. Yep. So let me show you what I have designed so far, completed so far. So this is what I have built. This part is functional now. It's pretty much functional. It's just the destination paths for the villagers have not been established yet. I would say for this rail, this would go straight to the conversion system, which is going to be here. So I still have to set that up. As for the quote-unquote dispose system, I'm still trying to decide where we're gonna put that. I might just route it to put it underneath this whole system, possibly. But I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So why don't we see? First of all, before we see it in action, let's let this guy flow in. See if it works. Go. He should fall in. Oh, interesting. It went to the second. Okay, I might have to do some adjusting there. But okay, let's see how this works for one of our villager friends here. Oh, a librarian, perfect. Okay. So he's gonna make a very slow journey around this, around all the bends here, but I've made this path so that they won't get stuck at all. Hopefully, hopefully they don't. I've been using that guy over there as a like a reference. Well, not really a reference, like a test. He was a test villager, and he was snaking through all of this waterway. It's kind of confusing to see where the actual path is, but it would be... Oh, our friend here is stuck now. Uh-huh. Why are you stuck? Okay, looks like we got some troubleshooting to do, guys. I don't know why he's stuck there. He's not supposed to be stuck. Is. Alrighty, I'll be right back. Well, in some parts, looks like they're... Well, he's able to clear the path, but I think it depends on the water flow of these side streams here. So let's see if he clears this, because he was able to clear this one. So let's see if he clears this one. Should be able to. Ooh, he gets stuck. He gets stuck. Huh? Oh, boy. That's great. Well, something to work on, I guess. But I think once we put other villagers here, they're gonna knock each other and essentially help each other propagate through these streams. Let's see if he clears this one. It's like watching paint dry, huh? And nope. But if we put it here, oh boy, I thought these were gonna work. Guess not. Okay, well, he's definitely going to make it to this part. Let's see if he does. Oop. So it looks like they don't hit this first block here. So I have to get rid of those. But I guess for the rest of them, it's okay. Forgot too that I have to make sure that... Oh. I have to really check the system out. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'll recheck how this works, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, before we go any further, I just want to demonstrate to you guys as to what rail directionality is, and I'm gonna tell you now, it's very hard for me to even explain this. If you guys really want to figure, if you don't know about it and you want to look it up, please check the wiki. I'm sure the wiki can demonstrate this to you, convey the information to you much better than I will. But I hope that this will give you a visual representation of how this would work. So let me just orient you to our current direction. So if we're looking this way, we're looking at east, and you can see that in the space where you see the space to the left, and below that's XYZ, block, chunk, and facing. As you can see, we're facing east. If we move to my right, we're facing south now. So that means if we move this way, this is west, and move this way, this is east. North. Sorry, north. This is east. So, as you know, when you lay down rails, they will always like to orient themselves towards a north-south direction, right? Even if my orientation, the way I'm facing right now, is east-west, they will always lay down as north and south. See, whichever orientation I look at, it will always be a north and south direction, regardless of anything. Okay, now that plays a big role in, I think, specifically how powered rails work. So just to give you a quick demonstration, right? If I place down rails like this, they will connect to each other. If I place a rail down here, they will connect to each other. And if I place down this rail here, it'll become a circle. That's a similar output here. If we do it in this direction, which is north-south, put it down, it'll make a circle. But power rails are weird in that they're pretty stiff. but they're also pretty stiff in a specific direction, and they prefer to be like placed. Uh, they prefer to be stiff, I guess, in a east-west direction. So let's say I put this here and connect it with a regular rail here. As you see, they'll connect. But if I place a regular power rail here, notice how it doesn't connect to each other. But as soon as I put this rail here, it will connect to that normal rail, and we get this configuration. So with this over here, if I lay it down in a north south direction and connect it, it connects normally. But as soon as I place this power rail down, okay, let's just connect it with a regular rail first. So if we are facing this direction, this is the output we're expecting, right? But since we're facing north-south, if I place this rail down, watch. Yeah. So it seems like power rails, I'm not sure about the other rails too, but the other special rail types, but power rails like to connect to each other in the east-west direction. Yeah, so because of that, the way we orient our villager sorter system has to be like a east-west direction. So that way we get the power rails to be aligned like this way, because this configuration cannot be achieved in a north-south direction. It's very confusing. Rails are very confusing in terms of directionality, but man, there's a lot of torches here. But man, let's get back to the brainstorming here. Well, folks, we have another problem here. It turns out that villagers next to minecarts help facilitate them to move around. It's not good. That's not what we want to happen. So essentially, when they fall down through the fence, they dislodge other villagers. So yeah, this is not going to work. But that works. This? No, this does not work. Oh, oh boy. Oh, he's gonna have a fun time. Yeah, I'll have to rethink this whole design. Alrighty, folks. Seems like we figured out how to have the rails going here. Had to do a different build approach, but everything seems like it's going to work out anyway. Let's see here. Oh, why can I not interact with this villager? Uh-oh. To go near him like this? Okay, well anyway. If I press this button while this trapdoor is closed, it'll go automatically down to the good area. But if I think if I have the trapdoor open, I haven't tested it out yet, but if I have it open, she should go straight down over here. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. Alright guys, many moons later, and I've modified the area a bit so that it's at least functional now. I hope we're gonna test this out a bit to see if it works. But I did extend the floor a bit because earlier we were having collisions with the villagers as they fell onto the track over here in this middle aisle here. They would collision hit the whatever hat slab that I had there, so they wouldn't go all the way to this track here. So we've modified it a bit, raised the floor rate, put some glass, see if that works. Also, I did notice that with the current position of the villagers where they fall, if I just had the button here and I pressed it, it would fall short. Like it would activate the power rail too short, way too short. So they would kind of like not land to this rail if I wanted them to go there. So I tried to add some delays. I had to extend the power rail to, instead of it having a normal rail here, I put a power rail and tried to do some redstone delays there to see if it would work, but nothing worked. It was way too finicky, so I just kept the way it is here, and instead put a levers in place instead, so I could just switch it, flick it, and it would just keep the power rail on until we shut it off, and that's no problem. So let's see if this guy falls directly to here. Earlier, I was having problems in that the villagers wouldn't fall to this track here, and I think it's because they were colliding with the heads of these other villagers. So let's see if this works now. Hopefully it does. So that's powered. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, okay. So normally we wouldn't have villagers here anyway. So these guys would be cleared off. Oops. But yep. Okay. It works. But yeah, as I was saying, this normally wouldn't have villagers here. They would automatically be railed off to somewhere. So this would always be clear. So there should never be a villager collision anytime here. So they would fall through always consistently, as you saw with that guy over there. And as you saw with this villager here, he fell right into the same tract. But because that villager fell through and he was already there, there was a collision and he got knocked over to, well, he didn't get knocked over, but he stayed on this rail here. So yeah, this is how the system is going to be. And yep. And also of note, guys, I did streamline this place up a bit. I cleaned it up a bit, so that way there would be no more collision problems. The only problems we have with this waterway is still that they would get stuck here. I tried to do a lot of things. I tried to add waterlogged objects here to see if the water from this block, this waterlogged block would facilitate. I mean, I'm not saying that I waterlogged this brick here, but I used like glass panes, I used trapdoors, I used half slabs. For the half slabs, they would get stuck if I placed it on the bottom, which was to be expected. What else? But yeah, I tried everything. Maybe I can do, I don't know if I can waterlog anvils. I could try that. But for now, they get stuck here. But if we do have enough villagers that get summoned to this path here, they do kind of knock each other loosely, and they both travel together towards this line over here. Yep. So yeah, we got a few guys here. Oh yeah, I added a painting there just so that they don't get bored. Maybe I should add other paintings here just so that that way each villager that gets stuck here has something to look at. But anyway, yeah, yeah, that's what we got here. So it's been working so far. Everything's been consistent. Also, to note that whatever villagers end up here, they do fall into this trapdoor here, through this trapdoor here. Fence gate here. So whatever villager streams this way and gets to this block here, they fall through. So it works now. So all villagers should be able to get through to each and every single cell here. And these guys are queued up to wait for their turn to fall in. Yep. But yeah, that's. Oh, also to note, I did have our first automated feature here where if we do have a villager go through here and they trigger this tripwire hook, it sends a signal to this, and this thing dispenses a minecart, which falls here, falls down here, picks up a villager, and they go on to their merry way up here. I think I might move the tripwire hook a bit more forward, somewhere here. Not quite sure yet. I don't know. I'm still thinking where to put it, but I do plan on moving it later. But for now, that's what we have hooked. It's delayed to the point where if they do hit this tripwire hook, this minecart, this dispenser won't dispense a minecart right away. Because what I noticed was each and every single time, without delay, that a villager triggers the tripwire, it would send a minecart, pick up a villager, and drag them all there, and then they get really jammed up really quick over here, this spot. So yeah, it was a mess. So I put a delay there just so that each villager that each villager can clear this part, so that way they don't get jammed up essentially. So yeah, I do plan on adding a system to where, as I was describing in the previous video, where I think if they get to this point here, or there's a villager that's stuck here, like there's enough villagers that's saturating this line here to the point where the this the last villager ends up in this location here. I'll have a tripwire hook there. That way, it would stop the breeding process over there where the where the villagers are. So I'll turn off the. So I don't know if you remember the trapdoor that I showed you, which we plan to change its state to close, so that way it diverts the potatoes to this thing. But I would have it so that it would turn that off. It would divert the potatoes to the storage area or the collection system we have set up there. And that would turn off the villager breeding. I also want to make that system also turn off this system, so that just in case another villager gets put on a minecart and goes up this rail, this system here will no longer dispense minecarts. I also put this lever here for now just to turn it off. So yeah, that's going to be the system that I'll be working on. And I will work on that in a bit, and I'll see you guys after it's all done. Okay, folks, so I went with this design over here. So actually, I realized when I was building it that why would I have two different tripwire hooks to do the same thing? Instead, I can just put them all into one tripwire hook, so that way it won't be too much of a confusing mess in terms of redstone. So the idea is, as the villager comes along here, rides this wave here, they'll trigger this tripwire here, which would go ahead and summon the next minecart to collect the next villager. But the dual purpose of it is if there's a villager here that's stuck, since there's a huge queue to fall into one of those areas there, it would allow the redstone signal to persist, essentially locking this system in place, right? So that's the dual purpose here. And not only that, since there's a villager that's stuck there, it would also send a redstone signal to our potato farm here. This is the line. So it diverges from it locking this dispenser to also locking this fence gate here. Fence gate. No, trapdoor. Sorry, trapdoor. So it will lock this trapdoor shut automatically. That will cut off the potato supply to those villagers at the breeding area. So let me show you. It's really just a whole redstone line that travels behind this wall. Currently, I have it locked just to test the redstone signal strength. But yeah, essentially, villager here. They remain here. They'll lock up that signal over there. Yep. I also incorporated a lever over here too, along with this wiring, just so that way I can just shut off the system too if I want to manually. Yep. So yeah, that's how it works. And for those eagle-eyed viewers out there who noticed this name tag on my inventory, the funny story behind it is, as I was ender pearling out of a specific location, I managed to spawn in an endermite, and it was in a perfect position where it was stuck. And I tried to set up a rail cart so I could capture it. I even got this name tag set for it because I wanted a little endermite pet with me. But as soon as I went to try to get it, I don't know, it just disappeared. I'm not quite sure if that's like a feature of endermites, but yeah, funny story. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys what I do have planned in mind in terms of the final design of why we're even having this conversion system, the sorter system, the breeder, and everything. So what I have planned is to essentially, this will be the villager trading hall, right? So let's say that I have this one spot for our favorite mending villager. The next spot over here, represented by this torch, is going to be, let's say, armor area. So any villagers with the occupation of armor will be situated here. And what I have planned is I want to be able to switch them around. So let's say if I don't want the trades of the current armor that's standing here, I just press a button, it will switch to the next armor that's waiting in queue, and I'll trade with him. If I don't like that, then I keep the cycle going on and on. And that's great for two things. One is to essentially make this villager trading hall a bit smaller, so that way we don't have like different amounts of villagers just standing there in their own specific spot waiting for us to trade with them. And that way we'll just have them all occupation in one spot. We just keep we could cycle through them, see what traits they have. That's the plan. And what was the other thing? I think I already said it, but yeah, that's the idea. What else? Oh yeah, I did want to say that I'm sorry again that this video got a bit, well, it was very mechanical driven, a lot of redstone, a lot of mechanics going on, we're working on, etc. That was weird. What? Okay, anyway, next episode, I do have a plan, and which is to start working on the sugarcane farm slash seaweed farm that I have brewing in my mind. Although unfortunately, it's going to be another mechanics redstone driven thing. But hey, that's it's fun for me, probably for you if you're watching this. But I do have some unique ideas for that. It's going to be a 2-in-1 farm, and not only is it going to be a farm, but it's also going to be designed as a aesthetic for us to look at. So yeah, it'll be interesting how we have that play along, but it should work. I already have the sugarcane farm designed out already, and I have the idea for the seaweed farm already concocted in my brain. I just need to see if that works. But yeah, the plan for that is to be a design for some other project that we'll have. But anyway, that's it for now. Sorry, this video is long. I tried to keep it under 30 minutes, but you know how it is. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, be safe, brush your teeth always, because that's very important. And yeah, take care and bye-bye.